Hello, everyone. Before we get started today, I want to thank you all so much for making the Till All Are One video so successful. It is my fastest growing video view-wise ever. It is insane. When I first uploaded it, it was like for the first hour, it's like, okay, it's doing pretty well. And then out of nowhere, it's like, by the way, there's like 17,000 views on this thing. It's insane, and it makes me realize I can always just do more of these character essays that I really enjoy. Because every time I get real worried, like maybe they won't really work, but people love the Inferno one, people love the Grimlock one, people love this Megatron one. It's so amazing, and I want to thank you all so much for allowing me to have the success of that video. By the way, this thumbnail was done by Mew. I'm going to keep their link down in the description. I'm going to make a community post for them as well. They are an incredible artist. This is the first time I've ever gotten a thumbnail from them. And they are taking commissions, especially if you want something that's a little bit of a scratchier art style like this. Great for horror, great for more like intense or dramatic commissions. Go check them out, because Mew was an absolute professional and gave me what I think is one of the best thumbnails I've ever had. It's great. However, this is the news video, so let's get into that news. In terms of sightings, people are starting to find the Mashers. Now, these are like blind bags that we had back when Prime was still around. I had that Ratchet. But you're able to get them now. You have an Age of Extinction Grimlock in G1 colors, 4 Prime characters, and then I think that 5th character is Age of Extinction Bulkhead. It's another Age of Extinction character, I just don't remember who it is. So yeah, kind of weird, but interesting, especially if you want some new Prime stuff in your life. Also, people are starting to find the Hot Wheels collab, and I'm going to say it again, I need that twin mill so it can be Armada Blur. Third-party reveals. We had quite a few this week. So, the TFCon exclusive from Fans Hobby, they're going to take their Overlord and turn it into Stalker. They're continuing on with all of their, what were they called? The Predators. Doing all the G1 Euro Predators. They've already done Skyquake and Hooligan, and now it looks as though we're getting Stalker, who is a very cool looking bot with a very unfortunate name. Also, King Toys is showing off their new Chug Scale Swoop. Looks very, very cool. Looks like a literal goddamn Kamen Rider in that pose. It looks amazing. And also, New Age is showing off their new variants for Volcanicus. You're going to be able to get a Jude 2 Volcanicus that's on the right, or a Shattered Glass Volcanicus that's on the left. Both are interesting. I don't think I need these, but they're really, really cool, and I'm glad that they're giving you all of these fantasy versions of Volcanicus so that you can fill out your collection if maybe you want a Volcanicus, but not in the G1 style. Now, official reveals. We only had a few to talk about this week. So, protein powder's back. I made a big deal about this back in January when this first got revealed that Hasbro was doing protein powder marketed towards kids. I know there's an 18 plus on the sticker, but seriously, what's going to happen is you're going to have a bunch of high schoolers get their parents to pay this for them. Let me tell you, you haven't lived until you do weight training in high school and you see so many of your friends vomit clear. Let me say that again. Their vomit was translucent. It looked like water. You've not lived until you've seen someone overcharge on protein and it come up like that, baby. I wasn't really happy with life until I realized your body could reject something that clearly. But hey, Transformers protein powder. That's where we are in this horrible slop world that Cox has dragged us into. But it's okay, let's focus on Missing Link Delta Magnus. We're getting Ultra Magnus and his Diaclone colors in the Missing Link line. Looks pretty cool. I know a lot of people actually prefer the Delta Magnus color scheme, the Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus color scheme, to normal Ultra Magnus. It's definitely a great look, and this looks like a cool toy. And we're also getting Masterpiece Sideswipe. He looks so good. Like, I'm not even a big fan of the movie style, but Takara Tomy knocked this out of the park. He looks incredible. I do want to see the back, because you can kind of see he has a little bit of kibble back there. I am curious just how how intrusive that could become, but it looks awesome. I'm also real curious about balancing, because you can see they went all in on the wheel feet, and I'm curious if this guy's going to be able to stand up all that well. Also, Transformers Overgear got revealed. Essentially, they're just doing radical reinventions of a lot of the movie cast, it seems. So our first two are going to be Blackout and Ironhide. When I first saw Blackout, I was thinking he was going to be Whirl, especially with like how the cockpit works in his chest. But no, that's our newest version of Blackout, which is great. It's a really nice design, and I kind of dig it as Blackout. And then Ironhide. Not so much the robot mode, but look at the truck mode. He's very similar to Energon Ironhide. So we're going to have to wait till we see, like, paint prototypes, stuff like that. But Overgear seems like a really cool, fun line from Takara Tomy. I'd love to see it get fleshed out. What characters would I want from... Dude, Bone Crusher. Like, movie Bone Crusher in this style? Oh, that'd be so sick. Yeah, I think that's who I want to see in Overgears. I want to see 2007 movie Bone Crusher in this style. Oh, so this is for the Evangelion crossover. We now know it's going to be Evasion Prime, and you're going to have like a normal Optimus Prime head, a more normal Optimus Prime head, as well as an EVA Unit 1 head. The EVA Unit 1 head is the one on the right. You're also going to get the spear that the EVA units usually used. So, okay. I mean, it's kind of what we were expecting it to be. We've already seen the renders of it. But now that we see the physical prototype, it's a good-looking toy. I'm excited to see it go further. If you remember a few months ago, Takara Tomy started up a thing where you can get tiny versions of the G1 toy packaging. Well, Wave 2 just got revealed. You're going to be able to get Rodimus Prime, Ultra Magnus, Metroplex, Starscream, Cyclonus, and Soundwave. It makes sense. We were able to get Galvatron and Scourge with the last wave, Wave 1. Hot Rod was also in Wave 1, so it kind of feels like you're completing a few micro collections there. Hot Rod and Rodimus, as well as the three main bad guys from the 86 movie. So that's pretty cool. Blockies! We got only a couple of reveals. No new waves, just some figures. So, the new Shining version is going to have a new rendition of Shockwave. And this Shockwave is different from the other ones we've got. He is probably the most cartoon accurate out of them so far, but of course he has the light up feature in his chest. And I'm looking, it looks as though he still has the old torso configuration, so I don't think he's going to have the great motion in his hips. But still, it's going to be a good way to get Shockwave if you weren't able to get him before. Also, I'm going to assume that gun barrel lights up. It just looks like that's going to be something they do. Starscream is also going to be in Shining version, whereas Bombshell is going to be in the next proper wave. Bombshell is going to come with a tiny version of Kickback's Insect mode. You can see the grasshopper behind him there. So, Shatterglass Starscream looks really good. He is using the original Seeker body. So that's Wave 1 Starscream, or rather Wave 1 Thundercracker, just in new paint. I just hope that white doesn't yellow as quickly as the yellow, or the white on the Generation Shatterglass Starscream yellowed. And then Bombshell. Especially with him using the new torso construction. Jesus Christ, that doesn't even look like a Blockies. That just looks like a really well done Bombshell. He looks amazing. He's going to look perfect on a Generation shelf. Bombshell is my favorite Insecticon. G1 Bombshell is a toy that like I inherited from my dad. And I'm always happy to see him because he just looks so good. By the way, I'm glad they went with the purple torso. I hate gray torso Bombshell. I know that's how he looked in the cartoon, but in my head he has a purple chest. And this is one of the best looking Bombshells I've ever seen. Jesus Christ. Speaking of Blockies, we finally saw Defender Series Bruticus. So very similar to Devastator, we're going to get all the vehicle modes and they're going to sell us the extra parts to build up Bruticus. Bruticus looks so much better than Devastator. Like, Devastator already looked really good, but there's no comparison. This Bruticus looks so amazing. I can't wait to see how this comes together. I think we're still waiting on Vortex and Blastoff. They've not been, like, even shown properly yet. And then I'm sure after that is when we're going to get the Bruticus upgrade kit from Blockies. And now it's time to go into what's coming up, what's coming out. So on Wednesday, I need you to stick with me, okay? On Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about the Transformers Hall of Fame. Just my memories with it, the stuff that resonates with me. But I want you guys to know something. I've not been keeping up with the Hall of Fame for years. I feel like Hasbro really doesn't care about the Hall of Fame. And I wish that the Hall of Fame would honor more people. Because it feels like you only get into the Hall of Fame if you're a movie star or when you're dead. I think it's time that we start up a fan-driven Transformers Hall of Fame. I'm going to announce that on Wednesday. We're going to go properly into it. I guess this is the announcement of the announcement. And then my plan is that November 2nd, I'm going to send out the list of nominees, and anyone is going to be able to vote. The nominees were chosen by people in my Discord server. I'm going to send out those nominees. Anyone's going to be able to vote in this poll. And then in December, we're going to announce the first inductees into a fan-driven Transformers Hall of Fame. Just to be clear, this is not a Ron Bondajon Hall of Fame. I am the curator of it, and we're doing it on my channel, yes. But this is not a thing where like, oh, best Ron Bondajon video 2025. No. And we're not putting things in that are important to Ron Bondajon. This is stuff that's supposed to represent what our corner of the fandom think. So we are going to have categories for best writer, best artist, best toy designer, and also the categories like best character, best toy. Like, we're going to try to cover all the bases because we want to have both a wing for the real world people who bring these characters to life, as well as the characters and stories themselves. I'm so excited for this. For years, I've always thought, man, I wish there was a fan-driven Hall of Fame the way that wrestling has so many fan-driven Hall of Fames. And if no one else is going to do it, I might as well handle it myself. So watch out for that video on Wednesday. And then, again, November 2nd is when I'm going to send out the ballot. November 2nd is when you're going to be able to start voting for who will be inducted into our first class of the Hall of Fame. And more typical news, on Friday, we're going to do the mini toys of Kickback. If you're confused as to why I have Kickback hanging out with Al Capone, it's because he was originally supposed to be more of a mafia-centric character. So I just thought that was funny to do for the thumbnail. And then on Sunday, howdy y'all! It's the Mini Toys of Quick Strike! So yeah, I think it's going to be a good week for the channel. Definitely a little bit more of the usual output. There's no character essay this week, but good God, guys, thank you again for all the support you gave the Megatron video essay. It blows my mind just how well that video is doing. And it makes me excited. I want to do more character essays, because clearly it works. People like them. But that's in the future, in the here and now. I need to thank my producers. Thank you to Oscar NJ Boy and Confish, Sinan and Incinerator, thank you. Silver Shot and God Empress Music. Of course, I gotta thank Delinquent and Cool Colin 17, Angel and Sam Wow, Ace Prime and A Transformers Fan, and then finally, thank you, Rex Films. Thank you all so much for watching, and hey, we'll see what we get up to next time.